I want to address this lion diet. You know, nothing gets me more riled up than stupidity of people that come out with bullshit type of diets like this. An all meat and high salt diet. Really? I mean, there is nothing more ignorant than that. Take a look at the teeth of a lion versus the teeth of a human. And you claim we're meat eaters? That's insanity. Insanity. Not even omnivores are heavy meat eaters. And that's bears, dogs. And when you give them high protein diets, they all get the same problems we do. You know, going back, understanding there's only two sides of chemistry. And everything in your life is one of these sides of chemistry or not. You have the base and alkaline side. That's the feel-good love side of life. That's the high electrolyte side, high electrons. That's your hydration side. That makes you feel good, anti-inflammatory, anti-pain. That's the good side of life. Then you got the acid side of life. Not such a good side of life. It's corrosive. It's dehydrating to you. It creates agglomulation. It makes you stiff and sore and bend over because it robs calcium out of you. And so when you look at the foods you're eating, all foods are either alkaline-forming foods or acid-forming foods. It's that simple. All life is that way. Your thoughts are that way. You either have acid thoughts of hate and anger, or you have your alkaline thoughts of love and compassion and humility. It's up to you to experience whatever you want to experience. You're down here as a free agent, bro. So when you're looking at this, the foods that are alkaline, that hug you and love you, is fruits, berries, melons, and vegetables. Right? The acid ash foods, those are your carbon side of foods. Those are electrical sugar foods. Those are essential. Mother's milk, we've talked about this many times about the mother's milk constituents are 7.5% carbon, half of that lipid, and less than 1% protein. And yet someone comes around and says, man is a meat eater. That's bull crap. There's nothing about it, man. I don't have the chart. I have it in my books about the claws, difference in our fingers. We can't rip the hide off of an animal. Good luck. You know, that's like looking at a cow in a field and going, let me go run over there and jump and rip that hide off and start eating on it. You know, that's insane. You know, these are acid ash foods. The World Health Organization has come out and even said a high-protein diet causes colon cancers. And, of course, in our world, it damages your kidneys. Then you lose the filtration of your lymph system, and then you move into the tumors, and then the medical gets to treat you with chemotherapy because they call it cancer, as it damages the cells in your body. No stupidest thing there is. You can't have a high acid ash diet. Because when you do, that goes right into the blood. Goes right in the blood. There's no neutralizing of a meat diet. You know, you can neutralize stomach acid with bicarbonate, but you don't neutralize, you can't change nitrogen factors with bicarbonate. And so all this goes into the blood. Well, here's a major loss of calcium. So now you see the loss of connective tissue. Now you got petechia, which is bruising easy. You got varicose veins, spider veins, depression coming in. So you lose your skeletal system. You start losing your joints. You know, for a high protein diet like that, that's insane. You know, if someone wants to do that, you do that. But those of you that are suffering and in pain, you do that, you're going to lose your health even more. It's going to take you deeper into Hellville. Some of these people that put this crap out don't know their butt from a hole in the ground. And they're putting this crap out there. And it's hurting everybody. You cannot do that. And then all these proteins stay at home, and then you start stinking like them. Stinking like the animals you're eating. You know, Homo sapiens, we're not lions. Matter of fact, we're 96% what? 96% primate. Exactly. The small percentage difference changes us from a primate look into a Homo sapien look. And Homo sapiens and primates are frugivores. They're not carnivores. Matter of fact, the human is as far away from a carnivore as you can get. Even omnivores are not heavy meat eaters. Not smart. Bears are not heavy meat eaters. Look at the grizzly bear. 65% of a grizzly bear's diet is sage grass. What about that one? They only have about 7% protein, and most of that is skin, which is lipids. Only the baby bears get the fish, more of the protein structures. It's insanity. Then salt. Salt is high sodium, and so sodium potassium is a vital balance in your body. Sodium is your adrenal glands, and of course when you have adrenal gland problems, which sit on top of the kidneys, they control the kidneys, but your adrenal glands produces all your steroids, sugar metabolism, mineral metabolism, your gonadals, estrogen, progesterones. How about your neurotransmitters that runs the autonomic nervous system? When you're, when your systolic blood pressure is low, you're low. That's how you breathe. Those with asthma and COPD, that's your adrenal glands. It's not just the lungs and congestion, that's your nervous system to the lungs. That's why you can't take a deep breath out or in. Very serious stuff here. And your kidneys deal with the potassium side. And when your sodium-potassium's out of balance, in the interstitial levels, you can't absorb nutrition through your cell wall properly. So you start messing about your cell wall permeability. And that starts messing with the health of a cell. You can't do that. You can't take minerals so far out of balance like that and expect to be healthy with that. That's insane. If you guys want to get healthy, do it the Dr.Mors Fix-It diet. That's a primate diet. Go your fruits, berries, and melons and live there for a while and see how good you feel. If you want a salad once in a while, okay, but we're not herbivores. Herbivores have grinders. We do not have the teeth even close of a carnivore. That is all lies. That's all illusions. And I don't know who is stupid enough out there to even think that. But don't fall into these sort of things like that, guys, because you only hurt the health of your body, and then you're working hard to get yourself out of Hellville, moving back into Wellville. All right?